So what is going on, guys? NanoPace93 here with another video, and I got my boy Archie sleeping right there. He actually just turned 10 months old today, so that's pretty cool. Comment below if you guys have puppies and on that dog daddy grind, obviously. But today I got a really cool one, right? So people have been wanting an Apple Pencil replacement for a while, right? The main reason is not because it's not a good option, it's because it's a pricey option for what you're getting. Essentially, you're getting a virtual pencil for $130, right? And like it's a tough pill to swallow, especially because I've lost one even though I found it, so I ended up buying a second one, and even on sale it's $120, right? And at the end of the day, all you're really doing with it is taking notes. So you have to think to yourself like, hey, is it worth it? There aren't many, Apple Pencil 2 options out there as replacements. There's, hundreds of keyboard alternatives, but not really an Apple Pencil one that magnetically attaches, that kind of has all the same functionality as the Apple Pencil 2, right? And there's been like the crayon has been kicked around. Logitech has one. Apple obviously has their own versions 1 and 2. But I stumbled upon one that it's not really marketed as an iPad Pro or an iPad Pencil replacement, but it's more marketed towards like a stylus for your iPhone, right? And it worked decently for the iPhone. I mean, I don't really use much. I had no real use case for the stylus on my iPhone, so I was like, hey, let me try to use it on my iPad and see if it actually works. So this, what I have right here, I don't know if you guys can see that because it's so freaking thin, is the Adonit Snap 2. So this little pencil right here, which I'm going to show you guys, is crazy thin, right? It's kind of like this weird flat design that that Microsoft kind of made with their new Surface Pro X that kind of tucks away inside of the keyboard. And overall, this is a pretty cool device. It's 35 bucks. It's made by a company called Adonit. This is the Snap 2. The reason it's called the Snap is because there is a button right here, if you guys can see that button, where it allows you to snap a picture remotely as like a Bluetooth remote to like snap a picture, obviously. So again, because it's made for the iPhone, not for an iPad. But I have been using it now for a little while, and honestly, it's not bad. There's a couple of workarounds that you have to do. So the first cool thing is that it's very, very small, and the magnet in here is very, very strong, that it still works magnetically on the iPad Pro. And if you try to shake it, it kind of just stays right there, right? It's very, very thin. You can barely see, if you guys can tell right there, right? So it does magnetically attach. Now, it doesn't charge magnetically. It is sadly a micro USB to charge it. So you do have to keep one of those around. They do claim 1 hour of charge gives you 7 hours of use, and then a full charge is 12 hours. And that's if you use it continuously, and it shuts off after 10 minutes of it being idle. So if it's not being picked up or used, it'll recognize it and it'll just shut itself off, right? And the beauty about this is that you don't really need to connect it via Bluetooth. It's a touch sensitive pen. The only reason you would want to attach it via Bluetooth is to use the remote like snap functionality to be able to take a picture, with a bunch of people, like have it on a tripod, snap a picture, and then take that picture with the remote. But to actually use it, you don't need to attach it via Bluetooth. So some of the cool perks, obviously you don't have the double tap feature to go between marker and eraser, right? The integration with the native Apple Notes app is a little weird. So you have to actually create a Notes app first. It can't be empty. You have to create a Notes app first, and then go from there, then edit it and mark it up. So it kind of turns it into a PDF, and then you mark it up as a PDF and then save that PDF. So that part of the notes isn't that great, but it does work with OneNote totally fine. It works with Notability, it works with GoodNotes. So it kind of just depends on what note application you use most frequently, right? And again, this is an alternative. It doesn't work exactly the same. From a handwriting perspective, that 9 millisecond touch sensitivity rate, or whatever that unit of measure is called, but it does work as a pencil, right? And I wouldn't go out and say like, hey, you can be a crazy creative and a designer with it, but as a pencil, as a note taker, it works. And it also works better as a navigation device through the iPad. If you guys have noticed, if you guys try to swipe up from the bottom with the iPad, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't take you back to the home screen. If you guys try to swipe from the top right to get to Control Center, again, it doesn't work. Swipe down, it doesn't work because it doesn't play well with the edges of the iPad. But this Adonit Snap 2, it does, because what the Adonit is trying to do is trick the iPad into thinking you have a very, very thin pointer finger. Then it's acting as if it's another finger, and that's the way the interface touches. Versus with the Apple Pencil 2, whenever the Apple Pencil touches the screen of the iPad, I don't know how, but it knows, maybe with their W1 or W2, whatever chip is in there now, it knows that it's an Apple Pencil, and it gives it certain functionality that Apple wants it to have. But with this Adonit 2, like I said, it's very, very thin. You get 12 hours of battery life for continuous usage. It works as if you're using a very, very thin pointer finger to get stuff done. So that's another really good pro. The one con is the weird application of how it works in the Notes app, and also the micro USB to charge. But if you do get yourself one of these little guys that I have, which is a USB-A to Lightning micro USB and USB-C. So I carry one of those around with me at all times, just to make sure when I have random things like this Adonit pencil, or my Logitech MX Anywhere S2 is also micro USB. So I gotta have one on me, at all times, just in case. And it works. And again, I've only charged this a few times in the last 3 months. I've had it for a while. Didn't really use it because I saw no real use case or real value application to use this pen on the iPhone. But then I started playing around with it on the iPad, I've been bringing this around more often, right? Because A, it's a lot smaller. Surprisingly, it fits well in the hand. You would think because of this weird flat design, it wouldn't be comfortable to have long writing sessions, but that's not the case at all, guys. Like, I really enjoy writing with this thing. Again, the feedback isn't as precise, but for note taking, it's perfect, right? I wouldn't be drawing a portrait or something more creative than actual note taking. But for a note taking pencil, if that's all you do, then you guys should definitely think about getting something like this because it's a lot cheaper, right? It's a much cheaper option. You can go through 4 of these and still be like at the same price as the Apple Pencil 2. So don't get me wrong, I love the Apple Pencil 2 and I'll probably use that more often than this guy, but this is just a great alternative and I wanted to share with you guys, and it's just a cool design. It's very, very thin, it's magnetic, so it kind of just goes into place, and it locks into place in a couple certain spots on the iPad, which you guys will notice if you guys slide it across. And it's just a great option, guys. So that's gonna do it for this video. Just wanted to share it with you guys. I think it's very, very cool. And until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter down here to make sure that we get to 500 followers on Twitter or 5,000 subs here on the channel to do an Apple Pencil 2 giveaway. So one of you guys will have it. So that's gonna do it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.